Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Soulpreneurs Symposium, where I talk with lightworkers and soulpreneurs all over the world and how they're helping everyone with the spiritual awakening journey. So today, I am so excited to have Marc with me. Hi, Marc. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm so excited to have you here. I've been following Marc's channel for the last 7 months. I came out of my dark night of the soul, and I was in such a lot of trouble because I did not know how to connect with all the things that was going on with me. Like many of you are, like ascension processes, and all stuff. I used to watch Marc's videos, and he is very consistent. He uploads videos almost every alternate days, and I have received so much support. So Marc, I'd really love to know how it all started for you.
Well, I've always been very intuitive. Answers would just kind of come forward. If I was working on something, trying to solve a problem, I'd
Mhm,
sit with it and things would just come forward naturally.
mhm,
In 2018, I was going through kind of a rough time. I had lost my cousin to cancer. My dog had passed away. My beloved dog had passed away. So we were kind of going through that. My parents were sick.
mm,
Um, One day I was sitting out in my backyard, just in the sun, listening to music, and something happened.
mm.
I attribute it to my crown chakra popping open, like just activating. And I was basically propelled out of my body. I was floating in space above the earth, and I had all this energy rushing through me. It was almost like a remembering of who we truly are, that we are not this physical vessel, that we are this just infinite energetic being. And I had answers coming through to questions about life in the universe, life elsewhere, gravity, all kinds of stuff just started flowing through me all instantaneously. It was an absolutely profound experience. The interesting thing is maybe about a month or two before that,
Mhm.
I was doing a guided meditation. I had watched on the science channel, one of the science Discovery or something. There was an episode on about the Akashic records.
Uh-huh.
Nikola Tesla, Einstein, these people. I've always been fascinated with that. I knew that there was something greater out there to connect with.
Mhm.
So I wanted to really try to connect with that. Well, the next morning in my email box was a guided meditation to connect with the Akashic records. Okay,
Mm.
so we have this divine synchronistic event come forward. And I started this, I think it was about 10 separate meditations. And I started doing the meditation. And through the guided meditation, I met my spirit guide, my main spirit guide. He approached me in the meditation, didn't know it at the time. He was a
Wow.
character in this meditation. And after I was finished with the guided meditation, I moved through the Akashic records. It was an amazing experience. He was with me the whole time. After the meditation ended,
Mhm.
he came to me outside of it. He
Wow.
appeared outside of it. So it's all a process. For me, it was a divine process that was laid out by my higher self, by my soul, to go through these events to get me in a place where I can open up to this. And I connected with my guide,
Mhm.
started really communicating with him on a regular basis, daily. And then I had that experience laying out in my backyard maybe a month later where my crown chakra went like this. And shortly after that, I had cosmic um, energies come through me. My ET guide started to come forward. So it was just that moment represented just a remembrance, a dropping in of a greater aspect of me
Mhm.
that allowed me to remember, that we're all connected, and who we truly are. So it was
Oh.
just an incredible experience. And I've been through, dark night of the soul, multiple times. We have
Mhm.
energy come up to
Mhm.
clear and things like that. And they've been with me the whole, through that whole process.
Wow. That's such a profound experience. I mean,
Hmm.
I remember you mentioned that in the very first video of your channel that you were listening to rock music when all of
I
that
was.
happened.
Yes, I was. I
Really?
was. And it's interesting because, Genesis, the rock band, is like one of my favorite bands. And it's just interesting that Genesis was this rebirth of me, because I was listening to one of the songs, and the song I was listening to happened to have on, it's in my playlist, was Turn It On Again.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm listening to Turn It On Again, and all of a
Oh.
sudden it's like it all gets turned on again. I remember this opens up, it's Genesis, it's a new birth, and this information just floods through me and grounds. And once you have an experience like that, you are changed forever. You're changed forever.
Wow.
It's, you know, it's like, whoa, what just happened? And you start to integrate that energy, and it just takes your life in a completely new direction. And I've been doing this work really, you know, after that happened, I went through the dark night of the soul. I was clearing and healing energetically, a lot like that. And then I realized that I had the ability to really communicate the whole ascension process to people that are going through it. So I started creating videos, and it just kind of shifted from there.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So before 2018, you did not used to, you know, do these videos, and it all started from this experience, right? That is when you decided.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I've had experiences communicating, you know, synchronistic events, maybe communicating with deceased loved ones. I remember one time, probably 8 or 10 years ago, I was in my home alone and I heard somebody shout my name, you know, in my ear, things like that. I had this connective intuitiveness, but it was the start with that meditation and my guide that really connected me to the greater reality, that there was something more that I was a part of, that I wasn't separate from. So it changed it from things weren't happening to me, like somebody yelling in my ear, to things were happening for me. You know, these were all aspects of me, that kind of thing. So
wow.
And, you know, shortly after that, my Pleiadian guide came forward. I had galactic beings, energetic beings come forward. You know, they appeared in my home, middle of the day.
Oh my goodness.
I had deceased relatives come and, you know, come forward. So this all happened, and it's just completely just life altering. Just truly amazing experience.
My goodness. Oh my God. Okay. So I can just imagine, when the profoundness of all the events happening, all of them together, how much impact it can create. So when you started off and that work that you're doing, can you describe what exactly is soul integration coaching?
Well, soul integration coach, what I do is I help people move through the challenges of their emotions, their traumas, and learning to really heal those aspects of them. Because when we land here on Earth, when we're born, we bring with us traumas. It's not only the trauma that we experience during this lifetime, but we've had traumas from prior incarnations of us that have not been healed. So we carry this through with us. And the awakening process gives us the consciousness, the ability to kind of take a step back from our traumas and finally be present with them, sit with them, feel that it's, you know, feel these dense emotions, whether it be anxiety, you know, fear, stress, whatever it may be. This stuff is coming forward to be felt. And I work with people to allow that process to happen, to be able to sit and actually feel instead of running from the emotions. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very powerful thing for people, because we have to give ourselves permission to allow ourselves to feel.
Absolutely.
You know, we're programmed from birth to not feel, right? When you were little, you'd fall, you'd hurt yourself, you'd cry. It's, oh, don't cry, right? Oh, be tough, don't cry. So we want to reverse that. We want to flip the switch on that and know it's okay to feel these emotions, to be present with them. That's how we heal.
Absolutely. Wow. I have you mentioned time after time in your videos that, you know, energetic changes are coming in, and you gotta be present. You gotta be present, you know?
Yes.
And now I understand how it all connects, right? Okay. So as you teach people and allow them to be present with the energy so that they can, you know, receive the growth from them, how do you bring that about to them? Because many people in my group, including myself, I know from my experience that when the dark night of the soul was upon me, the changes, the purging of the dense energies are not an easy process, right?
No.
So how do you bring that about for people who might be going through this?
Well, I've been through it, and I still have things come up that are triggering, that are challenging. So first thing is, we're human. We came here to be human. So we don't want to be too hard on ourselves, because the dense energy is very triggering. Okay. It's very powerful, like electrically. It draws our awareness towards it.
Yeah.
So when that happens, we forget who we are. So it's very important to remember and remind yourself of this, that we are energetic, multidimensional beings, and that we are not just here living this reality and then we die and it's done. Okay. This is a landscape that is established. This is a reality that's established for us to come down and heal this, to feel it. So it's about giving ourselves permission that it's okay. A lot of times we want to judge ourselves, right? Yeah. Oh, I got triggered. This is so hard. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this moment. Because you and I could sit here and talk about techniques.
Yeah.
But then when it happens, when we get triggered, it's like the techniques are out the window, right?
Totally.
Like, they don't work in this instance, right? So it's about learning to let go and remembering that everything you're feeling is you're being guided into it so that you can feel it. Okay. So it's not about, oh, I've made a mistake. I got triggered and I aligned with that energy and I've kind of lost my consciousness for a moment. You're being guided into it to feel it. So when you could remember that, then you could create space, and then we could start to breathe, bring the consciousness and the focus of the ego back inside, and allow those emotions to be present. And when we could sit from that point of awareness, we will feel them yield. We will feel them lessen a little bit. They will lighten a little bit. They'll let go a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we take control of what we're doing consciously. And we can do that through going into a meditation or going into breath work. Anything that takes your mind, listening to rock music. Okay.
Right.
It's as simple as that. I'll put on my headphones sometimes. I'll put on a song that I really like. And I will focus in on maybe the drum beat. That gives my mind, my ego, something to turn towards instead of the anxiety. Wow. And when that happens, you create space, start breathing with it, and you will relax. You will literally feel the energy kind of that dense energy just drop from your shoulders, from your neck, where you're really tense. That's the thing that people really struggle with. And the key also that's very important that I teach people is we have to work with our tools. Again, whether it's breath work, meditating, yoga is another powerful one. We do this when we're feeling good so that we could build that circuitry in the brain and it's available to us when we really need it. We don't wait until we're triggered to try to do this. We do it when we're feeling good. That way it's easier for the brain to go back to it. It knows it because we've built the neural pathways.
Wow, I can connect with you so much. It's unbelievable because that's every time I watch your videos, there are some things that totally connect with exactly like how it happened with me. And it feels like the exact same thing. Okay, now this is what I want to ask. Like, you always talk about breath work many times. The breath work to come in alignment with it, to handle the energies, become present. How did you discover breath work for yourself? Like, did it happen in 2018?
Yeah, I've done research online, and I have people that I've worked with that do a lot of work in breath work. And it really resonated with me. Just watching videos and things like that. Because the breath is something that's always with you, right? I may not have my headphones. I may not have my music. I may not be able to do yoga. The breath work is there always. Okay. Wherever you are. So if you're at work, when you get triggered, you can remove yourself and close your eyes and bring your focus back to breathing and get present. Okay. Because when you're breathing, you're present, right? So we're always breathing, but we don't always know it because it's a subconscious mechanism. When we could bring our awareness to the breath, and actually consciously breathe, we become present.
Wow.
And that's
Absolutely.
always with you. There's no excuse, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you breathe in that situation? No, I didn't breathe. Well, your breath is always with you. Breathe, bring it back in.
Right. Amazing. Because whenever we start getting tense, our breath shows us, right? And when we start
Yes.
coming back, yeah, it gives us the signals. So amazing.
Yeah. So like with the breath work, a lot of times when we're tense, when we have anxiety, we're breathing up here. We're taking shallow breaths up here, right?
Yeah.
Fight or flight response. So that releases chemicals in the body. We get tense. We start to not feel so good. When we could take control over that, we could start breathing deeper. We could breathe down into the lower lobes of the lungs, draw a breath in, and that takes us out of fight or flight mode. It kind of opens up that door to the subconscious and brings consciousness in, and we could start to rewire the patterns in the brain. So we start to naturally breathe deeper and slower, more in coherence with our heart.
Wow.
And that keeps you more centered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to soul integration coaching, for somebody who starts working with you, how does the process looks like? If you can give a glimpse.
Well, I will just dive right in and allow the person to come forward with their struggles, with what's happening, and then guidance, my intuition, my guidance, my guides start bringing forward information. And that comes from working with this individual and basically communicating and feeling their energy. Okay. And then the knowing comes forward as to how to guide them. And that leads to so many aha moments for the people that work. I've had people say to me that I've worked with or attended seminars from gurus, and have listened to these people for a long, long time, and they're all fantastic. But yet they come to me and they get something that they hadn't received before, and something just clicks.
Right.
So that seed gets planted, something clicks, and it arises into their awareness, and we build off of that. So it's almost like, they're trying to walk through the forest. I create that path of light, and we go in and we build from that.
Amazing. That was such a beautiful description of how it works. Okay. Okay. Now in my group, I have a lot of light workers and empaths, people I know, they are going through the dark night of the soul. And you always mention about the dark night of the soul, right?
Yes.
For people who are going through the dark night of the soul right now, they are going through the health challenges, they are going through this paradigm shift, the existential crisis, and everything is upon them. What message do you have to give to them? How do they handle this experience?
Be in contact or around people that are going through similar types of experiences. My membership, that's why I created my membership, because it gives people an opportunity to at least twice a month get together and go through this and talk about how, maybe there's techniques that one of my members might have found works for them. They could share that with the group. So it kind of makes us, and me included, it makes everybody accountable to themselves, because it gives them a time or 2 times a month, in my case with my membership, to get together and really just reconnect, and reconnect. So they don't feel like they're kind of off on their own, isolated, going through something by themselves. Because there are a lot of people out there with these same type of struggles right now. There's a lot of high frequency light landing. And in order to clear the path so this can be integrated, the density needs to be transmuted. So of course that comes up to be seen and felt.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So connecting with more like-minded people, you have your membership, that really helps. I can say this for personally myself, because when I came out of it, started watching your videos and so many other lightworkers videos, it all helps connecting with the journey. Like, okay, so this is what's happening with me. Coming from a third person makes so much sense. Wow. Amazing. Okay. Now, this is the last question. This is a personal question because I have so much curiosity about work that you do, stuff you bring out in your videos, right? Now, this is what I wanted to ask, that in many of your videos, you mentioned that when you're talking, at that very moment, you can see the spirit guides, maybe like they're giving you images and
Oh
they're
yeah.
showing you stuff. How does that happen, like that experience?
Well, what it is, it's a frequency match. And I get into alignment, and a lot of this happens, it's the higher self is guiding you into a frequency. So when my guides came forward initially, what they did was they entrained me. They come in and they activate a frequency within me. And it's almost like tuning into a radio dial. So once that happens, you could start to find that dial next time you remember it, right? Again, it's building pathways. So a thought will shift me in a direction, and then something will come forward. I'll allow it to come forward. I'll be like, okay, I feel my guide. And as soon as I recognize that, I will just hold space. Okay. No expectations. Okay. That's key. We just hold space, and imagery will come forward. He's flashing imagery to me. Okay. As an example, stuff just starts coming, and he's very, very funny. So a lot of times I get really goofy images. So that's a sign to me that he's here right now, because goofy images start coming forward. So it's about making yourself available and trusting the process. Now, the thing that gets in the way is the ego. The ego wants to define and try to write the playbook for how all of this connection should happen. So it's really important to just kind of allow yourself to be with no expectations. And in order to get there, we do the healing work. And everybody says, how do I communicate with my guides? Well, it's all the same process. When you can heal yourself energetically, it opens the door for everything. So that's what we do. And that's what I focus on. So, there's a lot of, people are looking for shortcuts or a specific technique to do this or this or this. If you've got density in the way, and if your ego is running the show, saying, I expect communication this way, telepathically, let's say, you're closing yourself off to maybe receiving imagery or opening yourself off to multidimensional experiences, maybe bilocating, things like that, because your mind has you closed off and focused on one way of receiving.
My goodness. Bilocating brings up a lot of memories from you sharing some of experiences. Like, once upon you mentioned that you bilocated into the Mount Kailash in India. I'm from India, so I was like super excited, like what's going on. And you were in a small house, and there were
my Pleiadian guide,
all over. So these are experiences of communications from spirit guides also in this form?
Absolutely.
Wow, amazing.
Definitely. That was with my Pleiadian guide. She actually took me to this vision. And after I had the vision, after I had this experience with her, I started doing research to try to find where it was visually. And Mt Kailash was the place that I came to. Isn't that interesting? I had no idea, and I found it. And I'm like, that's where I was.
And my research, and because I'm from India, definitely Mount Kailash is hold really sacred. It's like for many religions, people say like there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And you mentioned about Mount Kailash, and I was like blowing my minds out. Like, what's going on? There has to be a connection, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's what it was. That matched the imagery that I had received. And that was, I'll fill you in on that experience. That was an amazing experience. My experiences happen not really during meditation. I had that with my guide initially. They happen like you and I are sitting here right now talking. I'll be talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, I will have another reality appear, and I'll be here and I'll be there at the same time. So that was an experience like that, where I was in this house, and my Pleiadian guide was in this house with me. And there was nobody around. I walked outside, I looked outside, nobody there, but I saw craft flying in the sky. Spaceships flying in the sky. And she was just telling me that as more people ascend, they will start to come. This is a version of a new Earth that she was showing me. So we had craft flying in the sky, but there were no people there. It was just me. And she says, they will come. It was absolutely incredible.
Wow. Wow. So when you work with people as they heal their energies, do they also get to experience, communication in form of bilocation, in form of, visuals and stuff. Have you seen that happen with your clients?
I have seen that happen. I've seen them definitely start to really connect with their guides. And the main block with having these type of experiences is the fact that they expect to have it a certain way. So that's the thing with me, is people will look to me and say, well, Mark, how could I have that experience? And how could I have that? I said, well, you're closing yourself off from your experiences. So we need to get back in and let go of any sort of preconceived notion that the ego has and be available for your experiences. And again, that's the healing process in itself, is going through that allows you to be okay with however you receive, however you connect.
Amazing. Okay, so this is the last question of the discussion. So people who are watching this discussion, and they might be thinking like, wow, this is like really cool stuff. I want to heal myself, and I want to open up to my guides, and I want to, up level and ascend to higher states of consciousness. Who are the right kind of person to work with you? And, if they are thinking like, for whom soul integration coaching is for?
Somebody who realizes that there is something greater and they want to really dive in to the, as much as, this sounds weird to say, the darkness. We have to be able to be willing to feel the feelings and feel the emotions. Okay. That is the path. Your soul is showing you the path to the light. And it is only through the darkness, through the traumas, through the healing and being present with these emotions. That's how we get through this and start to open up to reconnecting with these aspects of ourselves that are on higher dimensional frequencies. That's really that's the path.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So how do they connect with you? Where they should reach out to you?
They could reach out to me on my website, soulintegrationcoach.com.
Awesome.
They could book coaching sessions there. They could look at my premium membership. I have a free membership as well. But the premium membership allows them to attend 2 group sessions on Zoom monthly. So it's a way to get together and ask questions and really just kind of get around people that are going through the same thing. So that's very, very powerful. For the premium members too, there's discounts available monthly for group sessions. So it kind of pays for itself that way. It covers my costs for keeping, for operating this. And YouTube, really, I've got almost 250 videos on YouTube now that are up there. And, anybody, your viewers, your subscribers who are interested, I've got wild experiences on there in videos. Just like mind-blowing stuff that has happened to me. I've put it in video and I go through what happened in those. So definitely check out my YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the way. I'm on Instagram as well, Soul Integration Coach. But on YouTube, I can be found, if you just go to YouTube and search for Marc Abrams, I'll come up. My channel will come up.
Awesome. I will put the description of Marc's YouTube channel and website and all the social links, in the description. So guys, do check out. Do visit Marc's channel because he has tons of support videos and so relevant. I have personally found so much support in my journey and I keep finding them. It's an ongoing journey. I literally wait for Marc's video every time it comes out, and it helps me so much. So do check out his channel. Links are in the description. Thank you so much, Marc, for being in this discussion with me. It has been such a dream of mine to talk with you because I've been following you for some time, and I get to ask you all my, curiosity and questions. And now it feels so awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful for you having me. This is so much fun. I love doing this. So I'm so grateful.
Much. I hope to see you again soon. And anybody who's watching this, do follow Marc's channel. And if you have not already, subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so that you never miss an update when I release a new video. Thank you so much, Marc. And I'll see you.
You're so welcome.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.